All right, Xavier. I was just randomly thinking. Actually, it wasn't random. It wasn't random at all. I bought the off the wall vinyl. You know, both of us were vinyl collectors, vinyl connoisseurs. We like to listen to different music. We like to collect vinyls and do very niche music, geeky things. And I love my collection of vinyls that I have. So I recently got the off the wall vinyl for Michael Jackson, which made me listen to the off the wall album in the car on my way home. As I was going home, I'm out here flagging the freaking vinyl to my coworker outside when I'm driving and stuff like that. I love music like that. I'm just a music geek in that way. So I had to listen to Off the Wall. Not that I haven't listened to Off the Wall before, and I do think that Off the Wall to me probably is my favorite Michael album. But let me tell you this fact real quick. Michael Jackson dropped Off the Wall when he was 21 years old. Soon after that, at 24 years old, he dropped Thriller. So it's just incredible to me when you really go back and look at it. To drop Off the Wall at 21 and Thriller at 24 is some like next level stuff. So we know what level Michael Jackson was on at the time and what he contributed to music overall. That's freaking incredible. So going back to listen to Off the Wall and how incredible it was, and then to listen and go into Thriller because I had to go into Thriller, and I'm just in the car. Like this is why I love music so much. I'm just in the car listening to these albums back to back, and like, okay, this is what I hear as far as musically goes. This is what I hear in bass line, and it's so amazing to me that Michael left the Jacksons when you have your brothers who were high level musicians at the time. You go get with Quincy Jones, who gives you better musicians, and now you have crazy bass lines and music that I've never heard before, and some things that I'm hearing on these records where like the band and the music part of the Michael Jackson experience was just next level. So Off the Wall and Thriller, two incredible consecutive albums from a solo artist, and I would pick him in this debate that I'm gonna have with you if he didn't drop an album with his brothers, the Jacksons, in 1980. I believe it was 1980 when he dropped the Jacksons album, which had like Heartbreak Hotel on it and stuff like that. So he had a project in between. But when we're talking about a two consecutive album run, I think that the Michael Jackson Off the Wall and Thriller definitely is one that has to be solidified in one of the greatest two consecutive album runs that we've ever seen. But it made me spark a question like, what's the best two consecutive album run, not including this one, that you've ever seen in your music opinion?
And that is a really good question, especially when we start to free ourselves from the restraints of hip hop
Right, right.
or only R&B, and you really just look at all the music that's out there. That really starts to muddy the waters a little bit. And we talked about Michael Jackson, who was somebody who was also in those same conversations with Michael Jackson.
Uh huh.
Beyonce.
Okay.
For me, I would say Beyonce has arguably one of the greatest four-peats in music history with B-Day, I Am Sasha Fierce, Four, and Beyonce. Shit, if you want to call it, it's a five-piece with Lemonade in
With
2016.
Lemonade after that.
If it wasn't for the Lion King soundtrack, we run it into Renaissance. Then we're running into to Cowboy Carter. Beyonce was really on your head from 2006 into 2024. But if we're just talking two back to back, I will go with I Am Sasha Fierce in 2008 and Four in 2011. With I Am Sasha Fierce, we get iconic songs like If I Were a Boy, Halo, Single Ladies, Diva, and then just 3 years later with Four, we get Love on Top, Party with Andre 3000. We get Best Thing I Never Had. Who Run the World? Girl. Beyonce was killing it for those back-to-backs. So I think that's a really strong contender, and I don't think a movie soundtrack counts that much unless it's the Black Panther soundtrack with Kendrick Lamar. Other than that, or like you said, the Prince soundtrack with Batman. I'm not gonna hold.
There's a couple of them soundtracks.
Yeah, there's a couple of them that are like really legit.
Right.
I'm not gonna hold the Lion King, The Gift soundtrack in 2019 too much against Beyonce. So I will say Beyonce has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pete. The greatest 7 Pete in music history. Because not only did she give you 7 great albums in a row, but she mixed it up and gave you multiple genres in those albums, from hip hop and R&B to country and EDM techno as well. So nobody's really doing it like Beyonce at this level and for this consistent. She is the LeBron James of music.
Okay, I like that. You really can't go wrong with Queen Bee. And I like how you brought up hip hop, and we wanted everybody to think outside of the box of hip hop. We're thinking about every genre. This is why we thought of the great and late Michael Jackson. But I'm gonna have to go hip hop in this discussion, Xavier, and I'm gonna have to go my favorite rapper ever, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City to Pimp a Butterfly. Are we serious right now? From the storytelling element of who he was from a kid from Compton in Good Kid, Mad City to a broader elevation of his thought process and who he was as a black man and all his thoughts into Pimp a Butterfly, I feel like a album run of the best consecutive albums from 1 to 2 has to be Good Kid, Mad City, 2 to Pimp a Butterfly, 2 flawless albums from Kendrick Lamar. If I were to say it, and I'm probably not speaking hyperbolic right now, 2 top 10 rap albums of all time when it's all said and done. Good Kid, Mad City, the best debut rap album of all time. Some of the best songs that we ever heard. And To Pimp a Butterfly, when it comes to messaging, when it comes to what it represents, I think that To Pimp a Butterfly is going to be talked about for a long time, and the messaging and what it meant for black Americans. But to me, I think that's the best two album run of all time when it's all said and done.
And I was hoping you weren't gonna make me do it.
What
I was hoping we weren't coming back to the confines of hip hop.
Okay.
Because I don't want to ever have to speak on a legend like this.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to ever have to speak on a GOAT like this. But if we're talking hip hop, you're lucky I didn't do it for genreless. The best artist in the world, hands down, unfortunately, is Kanye West. Stop it.
I was looking at him.
Man
I
has
was looking at his
8
stuff.
projects in a row. Minimum.
Yes.
At least 8 projects in a row. And at number 8, it gets a little bit shaky. But shaky for Kanye West is still your best, greatest album that they never dropped. I'm talking 2004, The College Dropout. 2005, Late Registration. 2007, Graduation. 2008, 808s and Heartbreaks. 2010, my personal favorite, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. 2011, Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
2013, the album nobody was prepared for, Yeezus.
Yeah.
2016, I'm counting it, The Life of Pablo. We don't talk about Ye, but even when we do talk about Ye, that album was great.
But the run you
Yikes,
said, yeah.
All Mine, Ghost Town, stop it.
Yeah.
We don't talk about
Kendrick Lamar's on a run too, sir.
We don't talk about Donda and Vultures, and we don't talk
Donda's
about.
a good album too.
Donda was an album.
But Kanye's definitely in that conversation, and I was
Kanye's not in that conversation. Kanye is the conversation. Came in 8 projects in a row. And when he started to get shaky, it was still better than 90% of the rap artists at the time. If Kanye never turned Nazi, He is the greatest artist to ever grace this earth. I love
Outside
Michael
of
Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
No,
Outside of
I
Michael
love
Jackson.
Michael Jackson and I love Beyonce. Artistically, they don't got nothing on Kanye West.
Did you say autistically or artistically?
Artistically, Nazi-tistically,
Don't use-
they ain't got nothing on Kanye.
Don't use Tylenol.
Don't use Tylenol. You might become a Nazi. According to
According to
autistic.
47, 45, 47.
And according to Trump, it's hard to look at autistic kids.
That's crazy. to
That
say.
is pretty crazy.
That's 45, 47.
That is 45, 47. But he probably took at least 45, 47 Tylenols at least. He got autism to the 45th degree.
For
But-
sure. Kanye, I think, definitely is there, but all I'm saying is do not discount this man, Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, when we're talking about the greatest album runs and the greatest 2 consecutive albums to ever come out of an artist. Beyonce, definitely somebody who is in the conversation for that and has great albums to back all the great things that, compiles who Beyonce and what the entity that Beyonce is. Kanye West, to me, the greatest artist of my generation, and outside of Michael Jackson, the greatest artist dang there ever, has transcended what hip hop is to the landscape. All I'm saying is that boy from Compton,
I call that
the
recency
niche rap.
bias.
the niche rap element that of what rap is, Kendrick has surpassed and been a generational transcended person of what hip hop is. And Good Kid, Mad City, come on now. One of the
Kendrick-
greatest debuts ever into To Pimp a Butterfly, a black people album when he could have went mainstream and took another road and chose to do the To Pimp a Butterfly album. Musically greatest 2 consecutive album run that I seen in my lifetime.
But if we're just talking like fan base, global recognition, arguably I would say Kendrick at his highest doesn't even top Kanye at his lowest. I would say Kendrick doesn't have an album run that exceeds 4.
We're talking about
Kendrick doesn't have more than 4 great projects in a row, and Overly Dedicated.
hold on.
Overly Dedicated is not an album,
Okay, so if you don't count that,
so that's 3.
let's count. If you don't count that, let's count
that's-
Section
so-
80. Section 80.
So that's 1,
Good Kid,
2,
To Pimp.
3.
Damn.
No, you skipped 1. Untitled Unmastered came in. That's in there as well.
Bro, those were tracks that LeBron asked him to release.
But you was talking
And
about.
I think it's
I
still
wouldn't
great.
talk about Beyonce.
Hold on. I think it's still great. Untitled 2 is something that I got memorized. Untitled 7 was a great track that went mainstream. Untitled 8 is a great track. Untitled 6 we were just listening to with CeeLo Green. What are we talking about right now? Untitled Unmastered is a great album and a great piece of art and a great project.
It can be a great project, but nobody is putting that in their top 5 conversation when they're talking about Kendrick Lamar projects.
If you want to count that consecutively, okay. But if I don't count that consecutively, then I'm
Okay.
talking about Damn.
Then we can count Damn, and then right after that, we hit Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yes,
which,
great album.
Outside of you and I, not too many people enjoyed.
I think people are okay. I agree originally, but people are starting to listen to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers more after this battle ensued, and they understood who Kendrick Lamar was. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers has been embraced by the masses after the fact.
Yeah, after the fact. Tell me how long did it take for College Dropout to be a hit?
Not much.
How long did it take for Late Registration to be a hit?
Not much.
How long did it take for Graduation?
Definitely not much.
808s and Heartbreak?
Not much.
My Beautiful Dark
changed.
Twisted-
It changed hip hop.
Exactly. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Not
Agreed.
long.
It did.
Watch
It
the
changed
Throne.
hip-hop.
Changed hip hop. Yeezus changed hip hop. Life of Pablo made everyone want to get a title account. Yay came in. It's not even a comparison.
Okay, I
When we
agree.
talk about an album run, when we talk about influence,
Let
when we talk
Ken-
about overall
Yes.
stardom,
Yes.
nobody, and I'm talking Jay-Z, Beyonce, Michael Jackson. I don't think Prince. I don't think any one of them
It's touching Kanye.
is touching Kanye.
I agree.
I really don't.
But we can't talk about him because he's a Nazi now.
Neither
Now,
here nor there.
I think that's a great point because another person that I was listening to and I just want to give credit to for the position that he's in and why people call him the GOAT. Now I'm listening to Jay-Z. I'm listening to him thoroughly, Xavier. I'm listening to him with deep ears. And I this is a spur of the moment conversation, but I'm going to Jay-Z albums right now, and when you look at it, when you're talking about Reasonable Doubt, when you're talking about The Blueprint, when you're talking about the Black Album, which the Black Album is my favorite Jay-Z album, when you're talking about some of these albums, of course you mentioned Watch the Throne. I can tell why you can say Jay-Z is the GOAT because I'm looking at all these albums right here and I'm saying
You
the
got
body
the
of the
catalog.
work along with the business acumen along with the head of a label along with the I'm leaving the group that I came up with and I'm still reinventing myself in the space and all that to the businessman that he was, Jay-Z has to be the GOAT rapper are amongst the conversation and in the argument because he has the bars, he has the business, he has the outside acclaim. Who doesn't know who Jay-Z is? And I said this to a younger person at my job. They were asking me who the GOAT rapper was, and I said Jay-Z, and they didn't understand me. And I'm like, I don't know if Jay-Z is going to transcend to the next generation, but he's definitely, when we're talking about a top 5 list accompanied of everything that you need to be a rapper, Jay-Z definitely has that.
110%. I mean, we're talking in Reasonable Doubt. We're talking about Volume 2, Hard Knock Life. Freaking Blueprint.
Ugh.
Blueprint, like, Blueprint 3 will forever be my favorite Jay-Z album.
Really?
I mean, we got Run This Town with Rihanna and Kanye, Empire State of Mind, but my personal favorite, DOA, Death of Autotune.
You love that record.
This was my ringtone in elementary school, bro. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been. How many elementary schoolers you know with a Jay-Z ringtone? DOA, I think, looking back on it and knowing how much it affected T-Pain as well, makes me not like the song as much. But DOA and the Blueprint 3, I think, really solidified Jay-Z not only as a rapper, but a pop star as well. And 100% when we're talking about rap artists, Jay-Z is in that conversation. The younger generation might have a harder time accepting that because the younger generation also doesn't do their research. They don't go back to listen to older music because there's always so much new music to listen to. When we were growing up, when we were watching TV, there would be reruns of old movies and old TV shows that
Right.
we would never go out on our own
And just
to
watch.
watch. But it's on. We ain't got no choice. We can't.
Thank
skip
God
it.
Martin was still on
Right.
cable.
This
'cause-
new generation doesn't. They don't have that luxury to be exposed to older media. So if you're just like, hey, you should go listen to this song from 1996,
They're
and
gonna be
you were
like, "What?"
born in 2010, that's not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen.
Because a
So-
2010-year-old is 15 years old.
That's
Somebody
also
that
nasty.
was born in 2010 is 15 years old right now.
That's nasty. When I hear 2010, I feel like you should still not should even be alive yet.
Yeah. You should. You're still a little ass kid.
Yeah, 2010 baby, you should still be in your daddy's sack. Like that's
Whoa.
you're not. There's no way you're born yet, let alone pushing high school.
Right.
Not even pushing high school. You're in high school.
1000%.
That's nasty.
I agree.